Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. Is Nigel here once again, and this is going to be another wrestling review. I'm not 100% fully uninvisible just yet, but thankfully I'm getting there. The lower half of my body is still a bit invisible, but we are getting there. The serum is working, and it tastes like bubblegum. Hopefully I should be back to normal. Hopefully back to fully normal. Hopefully by tomorrow. The doc said it would take a couple of days. But man, now I know how John Cena feels. It's time once again to delve back into the world of WrestleMania. I know yesterday we took a little bit of a detour in our WrestleMania looks or WrestleMania reviews, I should say. But it's time, and this is technically the final round of reviews that I have pre-planned. Does this mean I won't review any more WrestleMania matches for the year? Or not necessarily. I might revisit it. Heck, we still do have a couple weeks for WrestleMania, so I might throw in one or two. But in terms of the official list of matches I picked out, this is going to round it up, and I figured I'd end off on a bang. So we're going to look at one of probably the best, most iconic trilogies in WrestleMania history. When it comes to a lot of people, when they think of WrestleMania and WrestleMania matches, it's time to look at the Rock versus Austin trilogy, starting with the first one at WrestleMania 15. Of course, as always, I'm not a professional wrestling reviewer, analyst, or anything like that. Just a man who enjoys a good time, and I would say I had a pretty good time. For the most part with this match. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, if you've seen these reviews if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you kind of know how this works. I should probably take a serum for that stutter I have sometimes. But if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you kind of already know. There it is again. You kind of already know how this works. If you haven't, I'm going to be talking about what I liked and disliked about the match. There we go. So, starting with what I liked, first of all, how exactly did we get here? Well, Stone Cold Steve Austin did not win the Royal Rumble. That year, this year in 1999, and the Royal Rumble was won by Mr. McMahon. Because of course it was. But Vince McMahon won the Royal Rumble, and pretty much forfeited his title opportunity that was guaranteed by winning the Rumble match. And pretty much not out of any nobility, not because he felt he didn't earn it or deserved it, but pretty much just to stick it to Austin. But ultimately, Shawn Michaels pretty much said, "Oh, if you're forfeiting that, then the runner-up gets the opportunity." So I would hand it back to Austin again, because Austin technically was the runner-up. Literally, Austin and McMahon started the match, ended the match, and were gone for most of the match. The 1999 Royal Rumble, while it is a kind of footnote in terms of the Attitude Era, it's not looked on very fondly. And it's because of reasons like that. But pretty much Austin had to get his opportunity by winning the cage match at St. Valentine's Day Massacre. He officially put his opportunity on the line against McMahon himself. That match, first of all, it's a match we have reviewed on the channel, so if you haven't already, go check out that review. It was from a little bit ago. But also, that was the debut in WWE of Paul White, not quite known as the Big Show just yet, but he did debut and immediately accidentally cost his new boss. He was brought in as Mr. McMahon's enforcer, and immediately his first night on the job cost his new boss the opportunity by throwing Austin into the cage, and Austin fell down. So now Austin was on a collision course to battle the corporate champion, The Rock. The Rock had traded the WWE Championship. At this point, had traded the WWE Championship back and forth with Mankind. I do know Mankind did win it from The Rock in the Empty Arena halftime heat match earlier in the year. I forgot exactly how The Rock got it back, so I'll have to. I should probably look into that. and tournament, and let me see if I can find it really quickly. But nonetheless, The Rock did have the WWF Championship back, and so when now how Steve Austin and The Rock were about to face each other, and I believe it was this rivalry that gave us one of the most iconic moments in WWE history. That being Austin showing up with the beer truck and the hose spraying down McMahon, spraying down the Elder McMahon and Shane McMahon as well, and The Rock with the beer truck. Probably one of the most recognizable, probably one of a lot of people's favorite moments. Within, and not just within Steve Austin's career, but also the Attitude Era as a whole. So, okay. Oh, okay. So The Rock won it back on the February 15th episode of Raw. He won it in a ladder match from Mankind, even though he lost the Last Man Standing match the night before at St. Valentine's Day Massacre, which admittedly is kind of weird. Why didn't you just have Rock winning at that event? What? Because that would have been dumb. Not him losing technically kind of by draw in Last Man Standing just to win anyway the night after. But nevertheless, it was going to be Stone Cold versus The Rock, and it was surprising that, from what I had seen, these two hadn't faced off just yet. And I tried to find them facing off before this point. I wasn't quite able to. So, if you guys know something that I don't, please let me know in the comments. Please feel free to correct me. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the first match that we're going to get between Austin and The Rock. Obviously, it wouldn't be the last because, well, there's a reason there's a trilogy. So we're going to look at those, obviously, later on. But as for this match, now getting back into what I liked and disliked, starting with what I liked, I think these two had really fun chemistry. You kind of see their roles play out. Austin is very much defiant and very much going after The Rock. Meanwhile, The Rock he kind of ducking Austin, but also being very cocky and very arrogant and against Austin, and seeing them duke it out even from the jump when Austin comes out, and then Austin and The Rock immediately get to slugging when Austin comes out with that very awesome iconic T-shirt. A T-shirt I actually have with the dual pythons and Expect No Mercy, and not like the arm muscle pythons, but like literal pythons or just some type of snake. I don't know. I'm all over the place, but yeah. So Austin The Rock battling it out. Austin even hitting his knee on the beam with the spotlights on it in the match. That definitely looked a little scary. Hopefully Austin wasn't hurt too bad. It was on the braced knee. But Mankind, who was supposed to be the special guest referee, he battled Big Show on Sunday Night Heat to officially get the chance to do it, or had some kind of confrontation on Heat to do it, but he was being down, so Mankind is out for a majority of the match. But he will come back in the end. But seeing or it might not have been Sunday Night because I'm not seeing it here. But anyway, oh no, it was on the card itself. Okay, so Mankind battled the Big Show. Technically won by disqualification, but was too beat up to make it to the match. Okay, there we go. But yeah, so some pretty fun, pretty decent action between the two. Kind of seeing some of the stuff Austin can do. Kind of seeing some of the stuff The Rock can do. And then Mankind does show up. Does take out McMahon, and then does help Austin get the win. He counts the win while McMahon is sitting there looking distraught. And I do like how they milked the moment. And between this WWE Championship win that Austin has here, WWF Championship win that Austin has here, versus then the one he had the previous year at Mania 14. I might have to give it to Mania 14 because obviously that's the first. Seeing McMahon kind of pretty much die inside, watching Austin win the championship. Excuse me. Winning the championship here, admittedly, was pretty funny. Yeah, and Austin does celebrate, and he celebrates for a while, including him leaving at first, but then taking the championship, throwing it back into the ring, and then continuing to celebrate in the ring. And that admittedly was kind of funny, but the corporation is thwarted for the time being as Austin once again wins championship. And the thing is, the match was no disqualification, but the corporation was banned from ringside, which is, I mean, it's something they've done before and since, but it's a bit oxymoronic. If it's no disqualification, that technically means anything goes. So what's stopping the corporation from showing up anyway? I don't know. It's kind of weird, but yeah, so pretty decent in that exchange. In terms of what I didn't quite like as much about the match, a lot of people point to this WrestleMania as a whole feeling just like a extra long episode of Raw, and this one, and I think it kind of carries over into this match as well. A lot of people argue this is the best match of the night, kind of by default, but it doesn't feel like it really gets in that extra kind of third gear. It's still pretty fun, and don't get me wrong, but it really feels like there could have and should have been a little bit more, or not as much meat on the bones. It feels like, which is it's just kind of weird considering this is the longest match of the night at 16 minutes, almost 17 minutes, but it does feel like there should have been a little bit more, and I think part of that is because this match is kind of brawl heavy. Like The Rock and Austin fighting on the outside, some of the spots, including the aforementioned stage spot where Austin hits his leg, a little too brawl heavy at times. I don't mind the brawl, but sometimes you get a little heavy-handed with it, then it can be to the detriment of the match. I think this match kind of runs into that issue. Also, Mankind showing up to be the special guest referee so late into the match, it's almost like it almost felt a little pointless. Like obviously it fulfills that story, and Mankind does thwart McMahon, so it kind of wraps things up in a bow for him, because obviously Mankind and McMahon and technically The Rock were feuding at the time, but it also felt kind of pointless. Like, if you're gonna have Mankind show up that late into the match, why bother having him in at all? At least to me. Maybe that's just my opinion, but it does seem a little bit weird, like, to have him be that late into the match. Like, I think having him show up earlier, I think, might have made it mean more, but it did feel a little weird. But they said Mankind was going to be special guest referee. Oops, sorry, I accidentally hit my mic there. They did say Mankind was going to be special guest referee. I guess they did have to follow through on it. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see it as soon as it drops and so you never miss an upload. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the match, my review of the match. Do you like the match? Do you like my review of the match? Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. Join me next time when we take a look at the sequel to this match, the second in the trilogy, at WrestleMania 17. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.